All right, so we have the Dallas Cowboys who we're covering today. For those of you that are new, welcome. Smash the like button while you're here. Subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 10,000 followers, and you want to make sure that you can say you were one of the first 10,000 followers of the show, right? We have the Dallas Cowboys. What we do is we like to, during the dog days of summer here, we're so close. We got Hall of Fame game coming up. We're so close to football being back, but we like to cover one NFL team a day, as roughly as we can if we get to it. But we like to cover one NFL team a day, and we're on the NFC East right now. And we're starting with the Dallas Cowboys. And what we like to do is get a little refresher. Let's see what's going on with the Cowboys as we head into the 2024 season. So we'll go back, we'll look, we'll preview what happened last season and where their season ended. And then we're going to go look at any offseason news, meaning like transactions, who they lost, who they gained in free agency, contracts with salary caps and whatnot that they had to sign. What did they do in the draft? And then we'll hop on over and look at their upcoming schedule and see who they got, what this season's going to lay out for them. And we'll play Guess the Lines, which is my favorite part. And then we'll go take a look at the betting market. So then we can get a feel of what do the betting odds, what do the bettors think is going to happen with the Dallas Cowboys this season? Can they? And then we'll see if we can find some gems in there, whether they're going to exceed expectations or not. You ready to do this, Cricket?
Let's do it, sir.
All right, the Dallas Cowboys. Last year, kind of disappointing. They had a really good season, 12-5, ended up winning the division because the Eagles just collapsed in December. Just lost 5 of 6 games. The Eagles started off 10-1 at one point. I'm pretty sure they were like minus 2,000 to win that division, and then just an epic collapse. Cowboys putting up a lot of numbers, a lot of stats, as they always do. I argued that Dak should have been the MVP last year. Actually, if it wasn't him, you know me, I was putting my money on him. Like, if there's ever a year, Dak had really good statistical numbers. He had better numbers than Lamar, who ended up winning it. Lamar's team just, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC and whatnot, and he had okay stats, but nothing. He had worse stats than when he won his first MVP. But I thought it should have been, if there's every year not to give it to a quarterback, it was Christian McCaffrey last year. But that being said, I feel like Dak should have been up in contention as well, and actually probably should have won the thing over Lamar. But that's dead and gone now. But they ended up getting their ass kicked. This was a shocker. They were like 10-point favorites in a playoff game home against Green Bay, and Dallas Cowboys are responsible for Jordan Love becoming the highest paid player in NFL history last week, as the Green Bay Packers shellacked the Cowboys 48-32. It was never close. I know it looks like, oh, look at that. They ended up getting some points at the end. It was out of hand.
That was an ass whooping.
Finish. It was an ass whooping. They had
we were heavy on the Cowboys
returns. They had defensive touchdowns. Dak still threw for 403 yards. CeeDee Lamb had under 10 yards, but it just was not enough. Very disappointing. And it was what was disappointing about it too is I think a lot of us wanted to see a little rematch between the Niners and the Cowboys. The Niners whooped their ass 42-10 earlier in the season. You can see right here, but in the playoffs, I don't think that was going to be the case. I don't think that was going to be the case. But maybe we'll get it this year. Who knows? But yeah, what did you think about their season last year? And it kind of, the whole NFC East fell off, right? Them and the Eagles kind of collapsed. I don't know what it was.
Well, we've seen this out of this division for some years now, and the Cowboys, kind of classic Cowboys last year. Solid regular season, 12, 13 wins right there in the top of your division and all that, and then underperforming in the playoffs. This has been what we've seen out of this team for, since the mid-90s for the most part there. And, that was I know I was heavy on the Cowboys in that Green Bay game. I think I even teased it up some or pleased it and thought they were really going to put it on them. And it was, like you said, never close, man. A much younger Green Bay Packers squad came in, was much more physical. No excuse for the Cowboys there. You're in your home stadium in front of your home fans. You just got whipped in that thing. You had everything laid out for you. You were going to get your rematch with your big rivals that had already whooped you once this season. It looked like it was kind of falling together there for them. And then before you know it was over. So, you had all the questions in the offseason. Is Mike McCarthy going to be gone? Is it time for Jerry Jones to step? Well, all the different stuff, the drama that comes with the Cowboys every single year anyway. But, overall, a solid season. But we've got to be sour grapes. You got to
there were, because after that loss to Green Bay, here's CeeDee Lamb after the loss in the locker room talking about like Dak's just out there putting his body on the line, trying to do everything for this team.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
And then Jerry Jones was like,
"Cry me a river, you fat fucking baby. You disgust me."
And we're just like, hey, it's a new season, man.
I'm
It's
like, look, you gotta shut the fuck up. You that plays over.
Absolutely. People are gonna think we actually think that's CD Lamb in there, man.
dude, it's perfect that it's the Cowboys and the logo in the background too.
Isn't it great, man? That's fair. You know what? CD Lamb should reenact that one.
Good.
He should reenact that for us, bro. All the slander that Dak gets thrown at him. But yeah, like I said, a solid season. There's a lot of NFL franchises that have been very pleased with that season last year, but not the Dallas Cowboys, man. Overall, it winds up being a disappointment, and doesn't look.
Yeah,
like
well, they lost their defensive coordinator. Dan Quinn went to go coach the Commanders, right? He's on the Commanders coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. See, this is why I like doing this. There's so much stuff that goes on in the offseason, especially those first couple months, especially after the draft. You got it's like different seasons, whatnot, and then you got all these other sports and things that happen. You got March Madness, all the baseball stuff, whatnot. It's kind of you forget some of these things that happen. So they hired Mike Zimmer as their defensive coordinator. I think that's a great fit. I like Mike Zimmer. I do. I like Mike Zimmer a lot, especially when
he was the one that was he was the head coach at the Vikings for a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, he was the right behind. Actually, he was ahead of Belichick for a long time. Was the most profitable against the spread head coach.
Okay,
if Zimmer was coaching, you wanted to take the points or lay the points or whatever. He was like 68%.
I felt like he kind of, if I recall correctly, I know it's been a few years now, but I feel like he kind of got done wrong up there in Minnesota, where he had some injuries that wound up hurting him a lot in that season.
Yeah, they were disappointing the last couple seasons. They were expected to win a division and whatnot. I got to go see where this little man just ran.
Go check him out.
Continue looking at these transactions. There's some interesting things here. I mean, look at that. They exercise a roster bonus for QB Trey Lance, huh? Look at that.
I mean, I'm still anxious to see what you get out of Trey Lance if he's ever healthy for an extended amount of time. You know, a guy that was obviously very highly touted, drafted high and all that. Didn't work out with the 49ers. Moved on now last year to this team. And I'm anxious to see what that guy can do given a full season of being healthy. And so I still think he's a young guy. I think he's an ultra-talented guy. Don't know if he's ever a starter in the league or the guy, but I think he could be a serviceable backup there and somebody that maybe you wanted to have over on the sidelines just in case. There were some other key moves. Well, the big news about Tony Pollard, their stud running back which I thought they've been kind of underpaying that man and over, not using him the way he should be used there in that spot. But Tony Pollard has moved on to the Tennessee Titans now. Michael Gallup had retired. I saw the other day, it popped up. He retired after 6 seasons. So another guy that's dealt with a lot of injury problems, showed some flashes of greatness there, but could never stay healthy for a full season, man. And he has decided to turn it on in, retired the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was crazy too. That was crazy because he was set to go play for the Raiders, and he's, fairly young, solid player, right? He's not your number one guy.
6 years. Yeah, he's been solid. He's going to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you got the left tackle, Tyron Smith, has moved on to protect Aaron Rodgers now up in New York with the Jets. They
did retain. I couldn't remember if you just said this, but Zach Martin. They retained Zach Martin, which is huge.
Yep, that is huge. Brought Zeke back, but I think that's going to be more of a Zeke.
He's going to be like a red zone. He's going to be like
he's going to get
special weapons kind of
for Zeke to be able to retire with the Cowboys is what this is for.
Yeah, he could still. Zeke. Crazy, led the Patriots, I think, in yards and touchdowns last year, which is insane, but they were terrible anyways. But Zeke, if you use him in certain packages, he's not going to be an every down back, but he's still got something left in the tank.
He's still got something in there, man. He's got a little chip on his shoulder at that point. Don't want to just kind of fade into oblivion. So you'll get some productive minutes out of that guy.
They declined the 5th-year option for Trey Lance, so this will likely be his last season as the Cowboy, unless he goes 1-year deals after that. But they released Martavis. I didn't even realize Martavis Bryant was still in the league. Look at that.
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea Martavis Bryant was still in the league. I thought him and AB were doing podcasts together.
They might be. Maybe that's why he got released.
That's true.
And then, just the other day they put Trayvon Diggs on the active physically unable to perform list. Is he just not showing up, or is he actually injured?
He come back with that torn ACL.
That's right.
Yeah,
so
but he's just trying to. He didn't tear it till I think week 6 or 7 or something. So it'd be one of those things where he's just not ready yet. Still a guy that's getting up there, a great player, been a very a very efficient player all throughout his career, one of the better DBs in the league. But I think that's more what that is. They're just going to give him an extra month or so to be able to get that knee right. You don't want to rush that guy back too soon and wind up losing him for another season there. So that's what he's on the PUP list for. Just give him a few extra weeks to get his body right and make sure he's 100% ready to go, because you did see that Dallas Cowboys defense. When you take that guy out of it, that guy allows you to move him. You can move him all over the field in a lot of different packages. And so when you take that guy out, it kind of made that defense, and especially that secondary, fall off. So I think they just don't want to rush that guy back.
Absolutely. Here's their draft class. I honestly, I don't even remember what the heck happened in their draft, but let's see. First round, 29th overall, they took an offensive tackle out of Oklahoma, Tyler Guyton. Rebuilding after, like you said, Tyrone Smith is gone, so they got to get, they got to bring in them big boys to protect Dak. What do you think about this one?
He's a good pick, man. Big guys, played a lot of college football at Oklahoma, a lot of big time college football there. Big dude that could be an edge protector in this league for, I feel like some of these guys, the better part of a decade, you get a guy like that, you found gold there in the first round. Usually, we see a lot of these offensive linemen in the first round wind up having very solid careers. I think this is another guy that could do that.
Awesome. Second round pick, took a defensive end out of Western Michigan, Marshawn Nealand. I like that name. Yeah. This seems like a Mike Zimmer pick all the way. That does.
It feels like that, don't it?
Yeah.
It does. Like I said, don't know a whole lot about this guy, but I know when you see these kind of, I don't want to say mid-major, but I guess, but I guess it is mid-major, more middle of the road type programs in Western Michigan and, the directional schools and things. You see a guy like that go this high, usually a pretty solid player. And it does feel like a Mike Zimmer pick to me.
It does feel like a Mike Zimmer pick. Here, I'm going to scroll down so you can see a few of these other ones while I figure out what this little man wants. But the third round, 73rd overall, a guard / center out of Kansas State, Cooper Beebe. What a name. These guys are getting some guys with some good names.
That's what I'm saying, man. Absolutely. Yeah. Another guy here that's been a journeyman in college football and, can play multiple positions on the offensive line. Been playing out there at Kansas State. So, like I said, a lot of question marks coming into the season on what exactly is he going to be, a center? Is he going to be a guard? Might be one of those type guys. We obviously see a lot of injuries on the offensive line throughout the course of an NFL season. So a guy that you can have there more as a utility type guy that you can plug and play if you need to. I do think he'll wind up being a starter in the league at one position. It may wind up being a different position from week to week for this guy based on availability from other cats and all that. But another guy that could be a solid player for him right there. It looks like the next one, Ryan Flournoy out of Missouri State. Don't know a lot about him there, but obviously you're willing to, you got a 6th round pick on him. You don't have to invest too much there. If it winds up working out, could be a good deal for you. Nathan Thomas in the 7th round, offensive lineman. Really went heavy on the offensive line here, offensive and defensive lines. Then you got Justin Rogers in the 7th round, defensive tackle out of Auburn, another guy that's obviously got a lot of experience playing big-time football against big-time talent there. So it looked like they really invested here in the offensive and defensive lines.
Smart. I mean, where else do they really need to invest? I mean, secondary, but
you got
secondary,
the weapons,
yeah.
Elite playmakers on both sides of the ball.
They got good defensive ends and good linebackers. They could have maybe, focused on the secondary a little bit more, especially with Diggs being injured, but or coming off that injury. But I mean,
may have been where it looks like they're late in the first round there. Maybe all their guys they had high on their board maybe were just not available.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It also could have just been, I can't remember if it was a good safety draft or not. So,
right.
A lot of the good cornerback stuff, they went in the middle of the first round. So, salary cap wise, man, look at that cap hit. Dak Prescott. I didn't realize. So he's obviously due for a contract extension, and that's what the big deal is. So he actually isn't getting paid. He's getting paid only $29 million this year because 34. 5's already been paid to him through his roster bonus. So his checks that he'll be taking home is actually $29 million this year. But his cap hit is 55. And look at this. So they're talking about extending him. If they extend him, so he signed a 4-year, $160 million contract. What are we doing? What?
Them ads, man. They get you on them ads.
Pop-up things are just insane. 4-year, $160 million contract, 95 guaranteed at signing. That's crazy. 126 total guaranteed. But look at this. If they don't, let's say he leaves the Cowboys after this season, they still, look at all this. They still have 26-ish million in dead cap that they can stretch over the next few years. So if they do sign a contract extension, this stuff doesn't go away. It's whatever
Right.
they sign with him, plus they add this stuff on. They just have more years to spread it out. But yeah, there's still $40 million on here of cap hit
That
left.
might be why Jerry's a little slow to start renewing these things. Man, he knows he already owes them a bunch of money.
Yeah, I know. Well, he kind of put himself in this situation. So
Yeah, it's your own fault. He's got plenty of money anyway, that dickhead.
I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but that's a salary cap, a hard salary cap. There's only so much you can do.
Right. You can have all the money in the world. It won't buy you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Milligo says he's been terrible in camp. Lance has reports say, yeah. I mean, I
think
don't
I'm
take too much away from these reports though, because
I think I'm rooting for that guy, man. I think that's more it than anything at this point. I think I'm just kind of pulling for that guy to have this little flash of greatness, man. Just a little glimpse.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at their salary cap overall as a team, what do they got left? They still got 11.7 that they can use this season, or they can save some of it for next season and whatnot, which they might need. But next person that's paid on here is DeMarcus Lawrence, $20 million. CeeDee Lamb is in his 5th year. Look at that, his 5th year, and he gets 17.9. Is that what it is? Yeah, that's crazy. They're talking about how I saw a rumor. I don't know if it was true, but they're coming close to a contract extension with him, somewhere around like 130 to 140 million dollars for him. So it looks like
if I was him, I wouldn't take a nickel less than Justin Jefferson got.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't either. But here's what it is. Okay, but yeah, so I mean, you can look at some of these things here. Well, I'm just looking. Diggs is up there. Zach Martin's up there. Really? Brandon Cooks is still getting Brandon Cooks' agent. Hats off to you, sir. Brandon Cooks is still $10 million against the cap. I didn't even realize Brandon Cooks was still in the league.
Oh no, bro. I like Brandon Cooks. He was a good, valuable little pickup for me in the Dynasty League last year.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a great player. It's crazy because he's old for a wide receiver. He's 31. Still getting paid. Good for him. And then Trey Lance down there. The problem the Cowboys have is they got Dak at the top making his money, right? You got DeMarcus Lawrence, you got to pay him, you got to pay CD, but you got to pay Micah Parsons. He said he will not hold out, which was good to hear. You got to pay some of these guys though.
I like that guy, man.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot they got Eric Kendricks. That's interesting.
Yep, brought him over from the Chargers there. But
Cooper Rush, the best backup in the league.
Cooper Rush is the best backup in the league.
Yeah,
by far. Can't believe that guy ain't got a shot to start for somebody yet.
You know he's going to win one game for them this year, right? He's going to win one.
Dak will go down for about a month, miss 3 or 4. Cooper Rush will come in and go 2-1.
Yeah. So, okay, let's hop in to see what this season looks like for them. This is my favorite part. We get to play Guess the Lines. The odds are up for all the games, and we're gonna hop in there and we're gonna I'm gonna guess to see what the exact spread is. We're gonna get into.
I'm going exact number 3 today.
Going exact number 3 is how many you think I'm gonna get right? Okay,
exact
number 3. I mean, we took a week off, man. It's been a while since we've done these. Cowboys open up, and I have not looked at these lines. I kind of know week 1 because I've glanced at week 1 stuff, but still not for sure. But Cowboys open up at Cleveland. I'm gonna say the Cowboys. It's like something around. I'm gonna get this wrong. I know it. Cowboys 2-point favorites in Cleveland.
Nope, you got that one right on the money, sir.
Ooh,
Cowboys +2 at the Browns.
I remember it's 2.5, 2 or 1.5, but I'm like, I know it's under 3.
That one's gonna move around a little bit. I feel like.
Yeah, it is, and especially that's Tom Brady's first game in the booth.
I knew. That's why I was like, you will know this line because I know you've studied this game.
And then they home opener in week 2 against the Saints. Man, this one's tough. I'm gonna go bold here. I'm gonna say the Cowboys are 6.5-point favorites against the Saints.
Ooh, hooked them. Cowboys -6 at home against the Saints.
Oh God, I was in the ballpark range there. Then they're home against Baltimore.
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I'm gonna say it's got to be somewhere around pick'em. Because I think Baltimore would be rated higher than the Cowboys. I'm going to say Baltimore -1.
Cowboys -1 at home against the Ravens.
Okay.
He was all over it.
Right there. Let's see. Then Thursday Night Football against the Giants. Oh, we got the.
Oh, good. That's yours. I thought mine were screaming in here.
Oh, those are mine. We got Thursday Night Football against the Giants. And Cowboys 8-point favorites.
Ooh, yeah, and you gave them a lot of credit there. Cowboys -4 at the Giants.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
a lot of question marks for that Giants team.
We got both boys here. This is going to get interesting real fast. At the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cowboys -2.
Cowboys -1.5 at the Steelers.
Give me 1 second. We are home against Detroit. The Cowboys 2.5 point favorites.
Cowboys -1 at home against the Lions.
I knew I should have given the Lions more credit there. Bye week. Week 7. They had a week 7 bye week last year too. And then they got to go out to San Francisco. San Francisco 3-point favorites.
Cowboys +5.5 at the 49ers.
Wow. It's probably because of that ass whooping they took last year.
I was going to say, I'd still bet it.
Then they got to fly out to hot Atlanta. This one is going to, I think, because of coming off a San Francisco game and then flying across the country, I'm going to say Dallas is only a 2-point favorite in Atlanta.
This is the Bill Belichick Bowl, man. Cowboys -1 at the Falcons.
Cowboys are -1 a lot this season.
They are. Could be some question mark issues there.
Then home against the Eagles here. Big rivalry game. Eagles. Cowboys -3.
Cowboys -2 at home against the Eagles. Let me ask you this. You think some of these lines are reflective off of, obviously, we know CeeDee Lamb's going to play, get a deal, and all that stuff. You think these might move a little bit after he gets the deal, or do you think they've already factored in the fact that they think he's going to play?
Oh, that's already factored in.
Yeah, I think so too.
Plus, when you're projecting, you don't know, like, you're just playing it safe right now.
No.
You don't know at this point who's going to be healthy or injured in November for either of these teams.
So right.
So unless there's a big, unless the only thing that would change these if like Dak got injured and wasn't like towards ACL was going to be out for the season, right? Then that would change all these lines.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, your starting quarterback goes down, they're going to change drastically.
Then we got home against Houston. That's going to be a fun one. I'm going to say the Cowboys -3 against Houston. Monday Night Football.
Oh, right on the money, sir. Cowboys -3 at home against.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Winner. There we go. Then we got let's see. Then we have at Washington, Cowboys 5.5 point favorites.
Cowboys -3.5 at the Commanders. Got the old Dan Quinn factor there. You got to remember he'll know a lot of the insides of that building too. So
that's true. That's true. And it's division.
Yeah.
Then short week. I believe that's Thanksgiving. Thursday, Thanksgiving. That sounds right. Right. November 28th. No, maybe they.
No, this is Thanksgiving. Yes.
And they're playing New York, home against New York. Cowboys 3.5 point favorites.
Cowboys -8 at home against the Giants.
Jeez.
That's what you just had that one backwards. I think you said Cowboys -8 when they were at New York. They were -4.
Maybe I was thinking they were home. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Monday Night Football against Cincinnati. They're home against Cincinnati. You got a lot of these big games at home. Monday Night Football. I'm going to say Cowboys -2.5.
Cowboys -1 at home against Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
I should just say Cowboys. If I would just say Cowboys -1 on all of these, I would have got like 6.
You hit at least 4 or 5. Yeah.
Then at Carolina, Cowboys -7.5.
Cowboys -6.5 at the Panthers. Take that now.
Yeah.
Actually, don't. That could be a weird one they drop. Something stupid,
Short week. Don't know who's going to be healthy in December. Yeah. Then home against Tampa Bay against your Bucks. I'm going to say Cowboys 4.5 point favorites.
Boom. Cowboys -4.5 at home against the Buccaneers.
And then we're at Philadelphia. I'm going to say Philadelphia 2.5 point favorites.
Damn, man. You screwed up my exacta. Cowboys +2.5 at the Phillies. Philadelphia Eagles, not the Phillies. Cowboys probably who do you think be favored in the Cowboys-Phillies matchup?
The Phillies?
That's right.
What sport are we playing?
I said the Phillies. That's what I'm saying. We're going to play baseball where they got to hit a football.
I'll still take the Phillies.
I would take the Phillies too.
I don't know. I bet some of those big linemen can really knock it out of there.
That's true. They might be able to mash. That's fair.
And then last game of the season, home against Washington. This is tough because it's the last week. I'll say Cowboys -9.5.
Oh, Cowboys -5.5 at home against the Commanders. Like I said, I think that's the Dan Quinn factor.
I think that's also week 18 factor there.
Yeah,
so, hey,
true. They may be all sitting.
We got 4 right. Black Souls over in the Rumble Chat says NFC preview. Eagles gonna wipe the floor with y'all. Hey, they might. We're gonna get into.
Hey, don't say y'all. We're not Cowboys fans around here.
Yeah, we ain't Cowboys fans.
We just break down. We break down everybody. I'm a Buccaneers fan. He's a Patriots fan. Man.
Yeah, we have way more respectable teams than the Cowboys. All right.
Absolutely. We got some Cowboys fans that hang out in here with us though.
Yeah, I'm surprised Patriot 4-65 missed this one.
But good. What would you say the new face? What was their name?
Black Souls.
Black
Here, I'll show
Souls.
you.
Good to see you, Black Souls. Welcome in,
Yeah.
man. Welcome in.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, so we did that. Let me pull up the next thing that we got here. So that's their season in a little preview there. Let's go check the betting market, like we'd like to do with these teams real quick.
Absolutely. I'll do
I got my hands full over here, so we're gonna probably wrap up here in a minute. I gotta get going to work too.
Right. Got real jobs and stuff, man.
You know. One day we'll get that Rumble contract and we can do this all day, every day.
I'm just saying, Rumble. Yeah, a little bug in your Rumble. You start paying us real good to do this. We'll do this all day, every day.
I'll be here 8 hours a day. What you need? I'll put my 9 to 5 in. Let's see. Cowboys are the second favorite. I'm surprised. I feel like this has moved. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think the Eagles should be favored to win this division, but the Cowboys plus 150. So if you're a big Cowboys fan, you like them, get them now at plus 150. Usually I feel like the Cowboys are overvalued in the market, and maybe they are. Maybe this should be closer to plus 200, but I mean, plus 150 ain't bad.
No.
Got a lot of tough games, though. Got a lot of tough games.
Yeah, it's hard for me to want to take somebody in a division like that with how long an NFL season is and all the things that can happen.
Cowboys 10-1 to win the NFC and go to the Super Bowl, if you like that. Let's see their regular season. That's regular season wars. Let's see season win total for these guys. By the way, remind me tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the NFL new rules to kickoffs. We're going to talk about that before we actually see it on Thursday.
Okay.
Because I have something that not many people are talking about on to help with betting.
Okay.
Or focusing on next season. So remind me to talk about that tomorrow. But let's see. Dallas Cowboys over under 10.5 wins, with the over being juiced to minus 210. I mean, that feels right. They have a lot of big primetime games, as they always do. They got a lot of tough matchups there.
Yeah, it'll probably. I mean, you might can bump it up to 11.5. This is usually a 12 to 13 win team, especially with a 17 game schedule. But you're gonna have to sweat it.
Instead of betting this, I think I'd rather just bet the plus 150 they win the division, because at least you're in the mix
absolutely.
there.
If they get to 12 wins, I feel like they're going to be right there in the mix for that thing. I think there's more value at betting them to win the division.
They'll be able to hedge out one way or another if they are actually. Sure. Cowboys to make the playoffs. This has got to be a pretty hefty number. Yes, I'd rather bet the yes minus 175 that they make the playoffs than going over 10.5 wins. Because if they get 11 wins, they're going to make the playoffs with the new 17. And you don't have to lay minus 210. You can lay minus 175. That's why you got to shop around and look at these.
Especially the NFC, as bad as we know the South's going to be and all that.
Yeah, and then let's see. MVP odds. Dak Prescott is
Dak is worth a sprinkle.
25 to 1. How are you not going to sprinkle on Dak Prescott to win the MVP?
Y'all need to bet that, man. He's way too far down the list. He kind of got jobbed out of it last year. I feel like he should have been more in the talks.
He's going to put up the numbers.
Absolutely, he is, man. Barring any injuries or whatever, Dak's gonna be right there in the mix for that thing. I think the Cowboys are gonna have a solid squad.
He's got the same odds as Anthony Richardson, who hasn't done a damn thing yet and looks terrible in training camp.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, how is that? At what point do we stop disrespecting Dak? Guy's been solid.
I like Black Souls. He comes from my my kind of thinking. He says, okay, cool. There should be no Cowboys fans until they actually do something in the playoffs. They should all boycott. That's right.
He's our kind of people, man.
Yep, do something. Like Anthony Richardson, do something before we start talking about how great you are. And
right.
25 to 1, this is disrespectful.
That's what I'm saying. That's guard. Don't bet that. Bet Dak, not Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. I think I'm going to play something on that Dak Prescott thing. I'm going to build me a nice little portfolio of MVPs. I'll put a full unit on that.
That's right.
He's one of the finalists coming at the end of the year. You're gonna have a little 25 to 1 in my pocket.
That's what I'm saying. He'll wind up. Those odds are going to go down.
I'm gonna go grab my gardening gear and start hedging out of that one and guaranteeing a profit.
That will be, in my opinion, that'll be the best odds you can get on Dak Prescott to win MVP right now, because I think they're going to go down. What'd you say about your garage?
So I'll go out and get my hedging. Go get my gardening gear and hedge out of that one.
Hedge away, man.
Okay, so yeah, there you have it. There's our 2024 preview for the Dallas Cowboys. Make sure you like, subscribe, Share this out there with everyone. Let us know what you think on this video. What do you think's going to happen with the Cowboys? Are they going to have a good season? They're going to win the division? And what's your favorite bet on the Cowboys? If you have one, let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button, and we'll catch you guys on the next preview.